Kiss 92's Big Show.
Sexy.
Welcomes Dr. Martha Lee,
Hey, baby. Hey, baby.
the sexyologist.
I'm sexy and I know it.
Yeah.
Good morning, Dr. Lee.
Good morning. Oh, wait, Chotamante Kudasai. I have to shut the door.
That's right. You've joined us once again for Behind Closed Doors. And you know what? When I first read the title of your topic today, I was like, are we overparenting or underparenting? I'm like, what has this got to do with sexy time?
Yes.
But it was my mistake because it is, are we overparenting and underpartnering? That makes a little bit more sense. So tell us a little bit more, Dr. Martha Lee.
Well, I think that a lot of parents, with regards to their precious one, their one child, they spend a lot of time, energy, effort into taking care of their kid with the schoolwork, activities, and whatnot. But what about their partner?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I've heard this many times. I mean, usually in jest, but, sometimes they always say there's a little bit of truth in every joke, right? They said the fastest way to stop becoming passionate or making love to your partner is to have kids.
A child.
Yeah. And the irony is, it took that romance, it took that passion to have the child, but once the child came in, then that part of your life stopped.
I mean, I can kind of, I mean, it's not that I can understand, but I can kind of see why, because you've got a new human being, and sometimes for people, it's like, it's this whole opportunity to start again. Because a lot of people live vicariously through their children.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
The things that they never had, the things that they couldn't manage to do. They want their child to have everything. So all that energy, that effort goes into molding that child to be brought up the way you want them to turn out.
Yes.
Right?
Okay, so I mean, like, obviously the first thing in my mind would be bandwidth, okay? Just the energy, like you mentioned, right? There are only so many hours in a day, right? You've got work, you've got responsibilities, then you've got your child, and sometimes you need me time as well. Where do you then have time to, build something or maintain the relationship with your partner?
And that's when they have no time, so they just don't give any to their partner. I know of a lot of couples, they say, they are the adults, so they can take care of themselves, whereas what Angel just said, you have a child who's completely dependent on you, and what more if it's from your womb. And so a lot of this, unfortunately, a lot of women feel that much bond with their child, and then they take it out on their partner.
Yeah. And that's just if you're assuming it's one child, Some people got many children, right? One after another, and each of them, they all take so much effort and they take so much, of yourself. Really, the poor partner is the one that suffers at the end.
Yes, there's a statistic that says with each child you have, your relationship happiness decreases by 30%.
Wow, by the end of 6 children, you're like in deficit.
barely coping.
Yeah. So
I think this topic today is very good because both of you are parents.
Yeah. So how do we fix that then?
Can it even be fixed?
Before waiting for the children to turn 18, because that's a long time, or 21, how do we fix it? Okay, join us on The Big Show TV. We're available on, it's streaming now actually, not available, on Facebook and YouTube. Just key in Kiss 92 FM. Right now, here's Dark Thoughts on Kiss 92.
No, that's a really great point, Angel. I mean, it's like you wait until they're 18 before you then have time for each other again. But hey, let's face it, right? Mother Nature is not kind, right? Certain things may not be working or in prime condition after 18 years.
Because we've learned from Dr. Martha, if you don't use it, you lose it, right?
Yes.
Almost every one of the parents who come to me, they are actually unhappy because they have drifted apart and they are not having enough intimacy. Forget about sex, just intimacy. So what's happening is when they come in, it's just a matter of how old is their child. The younger it is, the more challenging. Some of them are doing co-sleeping. They're not getting enough rest, of course. And then breastfeeding. So many things going on. Then there's also aging parents, all these challenges. So it is something that they constantly struggle with. But I think it's important to raise the awareness, which is why I felt it was very important to talk about it today.
Yeah.
I mean, I think raising the awareness is one thing, right? But obviously, a lot of times when it comes to solutions, I think most people, especially parents, will go, oh, easier said than done, okay? Because when we talk about, our priorities, being able to dedicate ourselves to so many different people in the family, I mean, that's even for those with who may have help, okay? Those who have, nannies, those who have domestic helpers. There are a lot of people who do not have that kind of help, right? So if your children stay in your room, barge into your room in the middle of the day, in the middle of the night, I cannot imagine when you would have the opportunity to even be intimate.
But also there are those people that go on holidays on their own as couples, leave the kids with the grandparents or whoever they may leave the kids with, and then all they can think of, oh my goodness, finally we can sleep.
Yeah.
We can do adult things. We can watch the adult shows that we don't get to watch when the kids are awake and stuff like that.
Yes.
So like sex is the last thing on their minds.
Yes, and truth be told, Angel, it's hard because even when Sabrina and I go away on holiday,
And you
right?
have,
Yes,
right?
we go on
Yeah.
holiday. But the fact of the matter is, even when we've left Charlie behind, a
You're
lot of
thinking
it is,
about what he's
yes,
doing.
we have cameras we've got cameras at home. It's like, is he doing? Has he burnt the house down yet? Let's check the camera footage, and then we'll text back. We'll ask my mom, hey, is he behaving? Is he okay? Your mind is still with your child, even though your body is not.
But I have to say something. You've put him with somebody that you trust, right?
Yes.
And this person has brought up children before, especially your mother.
Yes.
So, I mean, in my perspective, you gotta
Let go.
compartmentalize your brain to not forget about Charlie, but have him in the very back. And have priority of Sabrina and your time together in the front.
But Dr. Lee, there's also that guilt. If I don't think of my child, does that make me a terrible parent?
No. The answer is no.
I'm asking
How do you
The
deal
answer
with
is
it,
no.
Angel? How do you deal with it?
I
Because
mean-
you seem very well adjusted.
Well, my kids are very much older. That's why I'm well
Correct.
adjusted.
But how do you deal with that?
But because I feel like you need to put yourself first. If you don't put yourself first, you will not be a happy parent. Because sad parents make sad children, angry parents make angry children. Repressed parents,
Make
make
everybody upset.
exactly. So I mean, if you're undersexed, sexually repressed, that's going to come out towards your kids in another way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your
You know?
partner is your team player. It's
Exactly.
your teammate. Why are so many couples that I know of taking it out on their partner? And so I noticed that a lot of couples, they make the child the center of the family when in reality it should be the parents. The
Or the
parents are the
family.
center,
Yeah,
not
exactly.
the child.
Yeah.
When you are focusing on them, then everything is about family time, and then parents guilt, so they don't have couple time. This affects them because they stop being lovers, friends, and romantic with each other. Me time can be a challenge. Then there's co-sleeping. So what happens is when you have so much closeness, yes, you spend all your time with your kid or family time. What happens is you are so close to the person, you get a bit bored of them. You're too familiar, and then there's no excitement. So I feel it's really important to understand a healthy relationship is something that you need to guard and nurture.
Yep.
Okay.
And obviously we've mentioned making time for your spouse, even though you have kids. That's very important as well. But time aside, right? Truth of the matter is, we have different standards for our partners and for our children. And I think this is something which a lot of parents feel as well, because you've got a child. They're your pao pao. They are your golden treasure, right? You are so nice to them. You talk to them. You coddle them. But then you may not quite be as patient or loving with your partner. And I feel like sometimes that kind of breeds a little bit of resentment.
And
you
the
know?
language as well changes.
Yes,
right?
right? Because from a guy's perspective, you want your wife to respect you. You want your wife to love you and to adore you, to some degree exalt you.
Women want that as well, by the way.
Yes, but then, you only see that when they're with their children, with your children, right? So to some degree, the painful thing is parents sometimes get a little resentful of their kids because their kids
Yeah.
are getting treatments from your partner that
You're
you
not
wish
getting.
you were getting.
And
Yeah.
you used to get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the irony is that a lot of times when we are looking to find a life partner, we are looking for someone who, if for those who want kids, look for someone who's going to be a good parent, and then you end up resenting your child and being a little bit jealous of them.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back on air and then let's talk about, you've named all the problems. We need to find the solutions
Yes.
now. Okay.
Kiss 92 traffic.
In the CTE tunnel towards the SLE after Outram Road, look out for an accident. Sounds like a big one. It's taking up 2 lanes, lanes 2 and 3. Elsewhere, on the KJE towards the PIE after Chua Chu Kang Drive, a stationary vehicle has been spotted. If you see anything else, let us know. 8855
All right, it's Behind Closed Doors right here on The Big Show. As always, we have Dr. Martha Tara Lee. Today we're talking about overparenting and underpartnering, spending so much time with your kids as a parent that you maybe neglect your relationship. And yes, we've been talking about all the problems that can arise once you have children, problems and their ramifications on your relationship. But how do we fix them? What do we do?
Yes, what can we do? I think both of you already hit the nail on the head, which is it's really important to be aware and to take steps. Take steps to make sure that you compartmentalize and let go. Okay. And learning how to compartmentalize is actually a life skill. I feel that a lot of my clients, they may not be able to change their circumstances, but they can learn how to regulate themselves, manage their energy, and be in a different headspace. When you leave the office, then leave the office. Don't bring it back home.
Leave that at home, right? Leave the phones at the door. Don't have your phones there during your meal time. This phone thing is a curse,
Yes.
I feel. Okay, we have a message from Karen. Karen says, good morning. I have 4 children, 17, 16, 8, and 6. And even though I'm turning 39 this year, I already feel that I have no energy. Since my 4th, I've even stopped jogging. So clearly Karen is calling out for help. I mean, everyone wants most everyone wants a good, passionate sex life. What do you have to say to Karen?
Karen is like the little old lady who lived in a shoe with so many children, she didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Because we hear of a lot of parents, they have 1, they have 2. We don't hear so many kids, right? 4 or more.
Yeah.
So yes, it's definitely challenging because everybody wants a piece of you. So it's really important to do what you can to take back your life, and it can be just the gaps in between your day. So for instance, even 10 minutes of doing nothing can help with your energy management and also your brain. And I always tell my clients, you have your lunch hour. What you choose to do with your lunch hour is your choice.
Yeah.
So if you want to take a nap, you want to be left alone, you want to go for a walk, you don't have to always go and have lunch with your colleagues.
Let's assume Karen is a stay-at-home mom. So no lunch hour. She's 24/7. You know, I mean, this is a full-time job, right? Being a mom to 4. Although 2 of her kids are already teenagers, they're still going to need a different kind of attention. She has 2 younger ones, 8 and 6. How will she get that 10 minutes? Because I know as parents, even running into the bathroom to have a shower is a rush job. You know, they're like trying to get, because kids are screaming, Mom, 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 I want this and I want that. Like, how does she get her 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's difficult. That's why it's really important to see what kind of support you can have. So there are those people who have domestic helpers, and I find that they are a lot more relaxed. I do know of parents who have 1 domestic helper for each child that they have. Yeah, very, very fortunate situation. Not everyone's like that. It can be very stressful when you can't even count on your parents or parents-in-law. There are people in that situation. I have clients who are migrant to Singapore, so their families are far away. So yes, these are definite challenges. So that's why a lot of people only feel that they can unwind at the end of the day or even in the morning.
When the kids are still asleep.
Yeah, and that's better than nothing. And make it a routine so that your body actually looks forward to it, and then it actually prepares you for the day or helps you to unwind.
All right. Now, you mentioned routine. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Is routine a good thing or a bad thing, particularly when you're trying to fix any missing intimacy or passion with your partner when you're already such a big when you're already such a parent. Okay, we're going to cover this on the Big Show TV.
Glenn Angel.
All right, so you mentioned routine, okay? And if I get you right, what you're alluding to is if you're going to schedule hanky-panky time, schedule it in a time where you don't have to worry about the kids, okay? But, when it comes to passion, when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to, reigniting that flame, sometimes you want that spontaneity, right? Do you think having a schedule like darling, and we wake up at 5:30 a.m.
I was just
in the
gonna
morning?
say, yeah.
Do you think that's going to be almost a chore than something to look forward to?
Yeah, definitely. I do know of a lot of clients, they prefer definite preferences. Usually a lot of men prefer sex in the morning and a lot of women prefer sex at night. I think it's because all things are done, the house is quiet, they can finally unwind. And then men who prefer sex in the morning, it's a good start to the day.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
After getting their morning erection.
But yeah. No, carry on.
Yes. So, what do you do about people who cannot find a good time? Well, I think you need to compromise. You need to compromise. Sometimes their way, sometimes your way. But I think even putting a little bit of effort to surprise your partner, I feel does go a long way.
I was gonna say, because I'm just basing it on Karen's message, because I'm not assuming anything, but for Karen, I feel like maybe changing her schedule, like waking up half hour earlier to get her own time.
Yes. Yep.
Or sleeping a half hour later, because at night I feel like at the end of the day you're already too tired to think of stretching it out, right?
Yep.
You just want to sleep as soon as the kids sleep. But if possible, Karen, if you could wake up, let's say 20 minutes 30 minutes when the house is super quiet, get that jogging in or get a little yoga in or do something, taking care of yourself will make sure that you're able to take care of everyone else, even your partner, right?
Yeah, I completely agree, because something is better than nothing. Maybe you may not want to jog because maybe you feel too tired or it's too strenuous. Then I definitely agree with yoga, some stretching. So yes, even just lazing in bed extra 5 minutes just to stretch a little bit, I feel that's your me time.
And just to have nobody screaming your name. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Just like quiet.
Yes. Okay, so I want to take it from, obviously I know it can go both ways, okay? But traditionally, all right, it's going to be, I suppose, the more of the burden, more of the responsibility of raising the children, particularly very young children, is going to land on the shoulders of the mom, okay? How can a husband be supportive, understanding of all the struggles that the mom is going to have, but at the same time also be able to get what he wants to?
Yes, so it's really important to be able to articulate what you need without feeling guilty. A lot of my clients, they are unhappy, but they feel bad for even asking for anything for their relationship or for themselves, because she's such a good mom. And I feel that the one thing that really helps is stepping up more and actually doing your part of it. Sure, your child will have preferences of who they want to tuck them in. Your child will have preferences, but as they get older, being able to recognize that sometimes they don't get their way all the time, that this is daddy's turn, and being able to proactively show up more and more, having that relationship with the child will allow you to be able to support your partner. And there's this thing that a lot of women hate hearing, which is, I help you, I help you.
Oh my gosh.
And then
of course.
wanting to be validated and praised for that little thing that they do on top of the many, many things that your partner is doing. Yeah, they hate hearing that.
Of course, because
So-
the woman doesn't.
What do they mean when you say I help you? Meanings
I know exactly
I've
what you
already
mean.
helped you,
shouldn't-
or I will help you. What
It's
is
not
the-
about helping, right? You are co-parenting.
Yeah.
It's not one
You're not
parent
doing me a
most of
favor.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So don't use the word help.
No,
lah,
no,
I
Yeah, that's
suppose.
very triggering.
So there are a
Okay.
lot of parents like, okay, say the mom's like putting the kid to bed, feeding the kid, changing the diaper, whatever it is, and then the husband washes the dishes.
Yeah.
Or not.
And then or not, and or wipes the table or whatever. He's like, I helped you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no, you didn't help me. You helped the house.
Okay, no. I understand. It could be just a matter of language, right? But that's not to
No,
say.
no.
Hang on,
It's
hang on,
not
hang on,
the
hang on,
correct
hang
word
on,
to
no,
say.
no,
Tell- tell me what you would
Because
say
what
then.
I would say now. I was gonna say, let's be careful and not thread on that line where it's like the wife or the mom does all the work, because the husband may provide support in other ways as well.
Okay.
Okay, support ways and other ways. Perhaps she's at home. Yes, she takes a lot of the burden of raising the children, but maybe he has to work all day
of course.
so
Yeah,
that
yeah,
he
yeah.
can provide as well.
That's the traditional. That's the traditional thing,
yes.
right?
So all I'm saying is, let's be careful as we walk that line, not to make it sound like, oh, the woman's doing all the work, that the man is providing absolutely nothing or contributing nothing.
So I feel when it comes to couples language, don't come in through the door and say, you know what, I provide for everything. Without me, you wouldn't have everything. Because the wife can easily turn around and say, you know what, without me, you wouldn't even have a family or a home.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? So
women-
don't throw that in each other's faces
Yes.
because you're doing it together.
Right, so that said, the moment the husband walks into the door, ladies, do not go, see, where have you been all day? You know, I've been at home, stuck, looking after the kids, doing this, doing that. Because at the end of the day, and this is the point I was trying to get to, it's going to cause friction between you
Yeah.
as a couple. And if you are not on the same wavelength, right, and you are not supportive of each other, you are not going to make good parents either. So the same way, like, you know, over parenting can be bad for the partnering. Bad partnering can also be bad for the parenting.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I want to go back to what Dr. Lee was saying. You know, you're talking about taking turns and stuff like that, where the daddy maybe, you know, does a little bit more with the child, puts the child to sleep or whatever it is. Say mommy does it all the time. But I feel like when it comes to being a parent and a partner, and you know that whoever is looking after the child, it could also be the husband, because there are a lot of house husbands these days, right? The other partner just come along and say, you know what, I'm going to put baby to sleep tonight.
Yep.
And even if baby screams his head off or the other one, it's just too bad. You know, you got me, let mommy or daddy rest.
Yeah, because
you
kids
know?
can adapt.
Yeah, of course, very easily. And if they know that that choice is not available, they're going to say,
Yeah.
okay, sure, you know, I've got you. Okay, let's have some fun. You know, so I think it's just a balance of what everyone does. Sure, the house husband or the wife cannot do what the working partner does, like go out and I lift a finger for you and do your work and all that.
Yeah.
But I think it's the home you got to think of.
How much do you think a difference in parenting styles has? I mean, I don't want to turn all this into a parenting segue, but you know, I mean, a difference in parenting styles, right? Both of you look at, you know, what's the best way to
Parenting
raise the
differently,
child,
yeah.
right? How much of a factor is that to the kind of partners the two of you are going to make after that?
Yeah, there's the good cop, bad cop, right? And then if they have conflicts, some of my clients, they actually start arguing in front of the child.
Yeah,
So
no.
being able to make certain agreements is very important to demonstrate. Courtesy is something that people tend to start to neglect.
They forget. Yeah. And I think, I mean, when it comes to parenting styles and how you want to bring your children up, that's a conversation you should have even before you get married. You know what I mean? It's something you should agree upon, because if I want to, say, go to my parents' house every weekend, but my husband wasn't brought out in that family environment, then that's not going to happen, because he won't be able to appreciate that, you know?
So conversation is always very important.
Yeah.
Maybe even couple counseling before you become a parent is also very important as well.
Or married.
But yeah, absolutely. But you know, truth of the matter is, hindsight is 2020, right? There are a lot of things that you feel that you didn't even think about having a conversation about, that you only realize maybe we should have spoken about this.
Of course.
You know, once you became parents, because you had absolutely no idea what was to be expected.
Yeah, I think we spend so much time focusing on the wedding and then we forget about the marriage. Coming back to what you were saying, actually, I do have clients who are the primary breadwinner, and they feel that I bring in the money and then you handle the house, but they forget the things that goes on with the child and the house doesn't finish after 5 or 6.
It's
And,
24/7,
so it's
yeah.
really important, coming back to the point that we said, don't say things like I help you when actually you are both by right equal contributors to the household.
Yeah, you're both doing everything you can to make sure that the family is happy, safe,
Yeah.
fed. You know what I mean? So it's not just one person that does it all.
No.
Even your helper
But then
is part of
obviously
it.
there will be different roles as well. So I don't think that, you know, that husbands, you cannot offer help. Okay, like for instance, if traditionally the mom has always been very happy putting the kids to sleep, but you can tell that she's tired.
Yeah.
Just offer.
Exactly.
Okay? Offer in that way. Don't make it sound like, you know, oh, you're doing so much. But it is okay to offer to take on a responsibility that she usually takes on.
But don't also say, I tell you what, I help you. You know what I mean?
Okay,
That's
okay,
what
that's very triggering.
No, it is very triggering.
But can you
yeah.
ask, how can I help?
No, yeah, you can ask how what can I do?
Okay, all right, what can I do?
You know,
Okay.
to maybe lighten the load. But if
Okay.
you say I help you, then it's like, oh wait, hold on, don't do me any favors.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, but I think the Asian thing is the moment you ask, they may snap at you because can't you see what I'm doing? Just do it. Don't talk so much.
I feel like all that,
Oh,
right?
why? You think I cannot manage?
I feel all that probably comes from a place of exhaustion as well. You know,
Yes,
frustration
correct.
and exhaustion as well, which comes down to what you ladies mentioned earlier. A lot of it is you need to take care of yourself, put yourself in the correct mind space, because when you are tired, you know, and you are easily triggered, you are going to say things, you know, that you usually wouldn't say
mean,
if you were in a calmer place.
Yes,
Yeah.
but on hindsight, it's also not okay to take it out of your partner no matter how. So I feel it's really important to apologize and to make repair attempts
Yeah.
so that they know that you do know that you snapped and that was not right.
Yeah, and also the partner also should be able to pick these things up as well. You know, okay, I know she or he is tired. Let me stay out of the way, or at least see what I can do to kind of like
Yes.
help out.
Yeah.
You know.
So I was inferring that maybe sometimes the help comes from observing the details and paying attention rather than just asking. Of course, asking is the first step, but if your partner is so exhausted, snapping at you, just slow down and look at how you can support. And sometimes support can also mean giving them a massage and just holding them, hugging them, telling them they're doing a great job. So yeah, just now coming back to what we were saying how to have more intimacy when this is the situation with parents. So I said the first thing is to support your partner, step up, do more.
And honestly, get off your phones.
Yep.
You know, I feel like a lot of people they're just sitting next to each other and just completely zombified in
Yep.
their phones, right?
Yep.
They're not talking, and then the husband or wife will come back and go, "Oh, I just want to chill," and then they're on their phones, which
Yeah.
is their way of chilling.
And
Sure.
also a very bad example to set for your kids,
Yeah.
who will then also want to be on their phones all the time.
But
Yeah.
on the commute, on the trains, you're already on your phones. What else are you looking at on your phone that you need to look at home? You know what I
So
mean?
this becomes bad habits. We distract ourselves. We make all kinds of excuses. But like you said, you know, if you're constantly on the phone, then you're showing your child that the phone is more important than
Than
them.
your spouse.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. We're coming back. Going back on there.
Away from the psychologically important 4 ringgit level and marks the currency's weakest level since November of last year. The decline came despite a string of supportive domestic developments in Malaysia, including stronger than expected trade data and stable inflation. But analysts say the recent weakness represents a correction and not the start of a prolonged depreciation trend.
Those were your news headlines from the Straits Times. Read more at straitstimes.com.
All the great songs in one place. Kiss 92. Kiss 92 traffic.
On the PIE towards the BK, towards Tuas, I beg your pardon, after Engneo Avenue, a vehicle has broken down. Also on Adam Road towards Queensway, after the exit to the PIE leading to Tuas, avoid lane 1. An accident was just reported a couple of minutes ago. On the PIE towards Tuas at the BKE exit, a vehicle's broken down there as well. Also, heavy traffic on the BKE towards Woodlands at the Woodlands checkpoint exit. Kind of tells you that people have taken the day off tomorrow and they might be starting their weekend early. If you spot anything else, 8855 0920.
It's Behind Closed Doors right here on The Big Show. With us, as always, we've got Dr. Martha Tara Lee. We're talking about overparenting versus underpartnering, right? And I'm almost glad that Glenn wasn't here today because he wouldn't be able to relate. He'd be like, overparenting? Why are you even becoming parents to begin with?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, don't even get married.
We got a message coming in here. We have been talking about how, the rigors and the struggles of being a parent can, take its toll on your relationship. We had one person who actually texted in and said, especially when it comes to being a parent of a child with special needs, that's even more incredibly challenging. Caregiving becomes the priority, and by the end of the day, there's just zero energy left.
Definitely, it's so challenging. So I have clients who ask me what to do. So for Karen just now, we talked about compartmentalizing, prioritizing yourself, asking for support, making sure your partner steps up. But I think a lot of times we forget other resources that are available, like for the parent who has the special needs child. Get your friends to support, friends who are single, who don't have kids, who are happy to be a auntie or uncle, just step in for a while. Also, there are parent support groups that you can join, so that maybe you can arrange for play dates.
I also feel that when people think about support, it's about you looking after the child. So it's not about that. It could also be about you cooking them 2 meals a day for that one time. You're already cooking dinner. Cook a little bit extra, send it to your friend. Do you remember COVID time?
Yes.
People were cooking for everybody. People were ordering. So if you have someone that's going through a tough time, maybe take something off their list.
Yep.
It could be, if they're going through something financially difficult, it could be paying for their subscription for their internet. It could be gifting them with something like part-time cleaning for one day. Things like that if they don't have a helper.
I feel like in our society, right, and especially now, I saw this growing up, I'm still seeing it now actually. Singaporeans, right, are scared to ask for help. We don't like to ask for help,
no,
right?
that's why you give it without the person
I know.
asking.
Like, Singaporeans don't like to help because they don't like to impose, right?
Yeah.
Which in itself, I mean, is quite noble. Like, you don't want to, intrude and interfere, and you don't want to bug somebody else. But at the same time, I think we need to start getting used to the idea where it is okay. If you need the help, just ask for it. Worst come to worst, they say no, you can ask somebody else, right?
Yeah, there's this saying, right? You don't get if you don't ask.
Yeah, the answer is always no.
Yes.
If you don't ask. So let's bring back that kind of like kampong spirit, because
it
it's
takes
a
a village.
community, right? It does take a village. All right, let's go back on The Big Show TV. Join us on Facebook and YouTube. Key in Kiss 92 FM. FM. Did I say FM? FM. Here's Little Nas X with Montero.
I like that when you say, if you don't ask, the answer will always be no. So husbands, don't be afraid to ask your wife for some passion tonight.
Yeah, because she might be, what took you so long? You know what I mean?
She was waiting for you. Ladies, also don't be afraid to just offer lah.
Yeah. Oh. What do you mean offer? No, ask.
No, I know. But the same way, if you can't, we were talking about help, right? You should be able to ask. And if people don't usually ask, you also offer lah without them asking first.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
So everybody give.
Okay.
And receive.
Yeah, I think this initiation point is very sensitive, because the person who always initiates may have some resentment. They may feel unseen, unwanted, rejected, or you're not interested, or you don't care, you don't see them. I think that's the worst kind of suffering. You don't feel seen in your own relationship and in your own house.
That's how I see it. I feel like the best couples, right? The best relationships are the one where both of them very thick skin. Don't care. Just ask. You know what I mean? You know? And if you're the one who's always like asking, rather than start getting resentful, like, why am I always the one asking? Never mind. Just keep asking.
But you see, that's not thick skin. That's communication.
I know. But what I'm saying is, I think, sometimes, like what Dr. Lee was saying, you get a bit resentful because you don't always want to be the one asking, right? And if you're always the one asking, then you feel like, oh, she don't love me. I'm the one who always wants this more. And then if you're the one, you also don't want to come across like the desperate one who always wants, and you're always, intruding on somebody else's time and their energy as well. You're a couple. You've gone through worse. This is, asking for a little loving. I think
it's a small thing.
Yes.
Super, super small thing.
And also, the way you want your partner to ask you is important. I have had clients who say, I've been hinting, I've been initiating, and then their partner just totally didn't get any of the hints. So being able to communicate about all these things are important. Having an agreement to say whenever we feel like it, we just ask, and you can always say no. Like even just saying these things helps to open up the conversation. I have clients who, they've been together for a long time, but they never ever talk about how to ask or how to initiate and things like that.
And you know what, ladies, just so you know, okay, guys, as a general rule, and I'm saying this as a guy, okay, we don't do hints very well. Okay, if you want, you must say, "I want a pow chicka pow pow" or something like that. Just you gotta be straight up.
you want a
cannot be
what?
subtle.
You want a what?
Pow chicka pow pow.
Is that the noise you make?
That's not the noise I make. But yeah, you just gotta be just straight up and as plain as possible, right? Because if you were just like, "Oh, I'm feeling comfortable tonight," the guy would probably go, "Oh yeah, me too," and then carry on watching football,
Yeah,
right?
we're like
Yeah, don't hint.
scratching between his pants and all that.
Yeah, one thing I want to say is I think sometimes we forget that the home is somewhere we come to rest, and that's why a lot of people don't feel like having intimacy. So it can be a good idea where you can afford it or make plans to go on a staycay from time to time. It can be once a month. Just save up and have a really nice time. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I did find this one thing that I wanted to read, but I just can't find it because it was an Instagram. Here it is, actually. It was an Instagram post that said, "My grandparents were married for 60 years, and one day I asked my grandfather, what is the secret to a long relationship, right?" And now I can't find it again. Okay, here it is. He said, so my grandparents, so he didn't laugh. He didn't say communication. He didn't say date nights. He looked at my grandmother who was in the kitchen and said, "You don't love the same woman." Now that confused me. He said she changes every few years, and if you don't update the way you love her, you lose her. He told me the girl he married at 22 wasn't the same woman at 30. Motherhood changed her, loss changed her, time changed her. At 40, she needed respect more than romance. At 50, she needed a partnership more than passion. At 60, she needed presence more than promises. And every time she changed, he had a choice.
Wait, when you said presence, was it like physical
No.
presence? or-
Presence. Like you being there,
Oh, okay.
companionship more than promises. And every time she changed, he had a choice. Complain that she's not the same or learn to love her again.
Okay, very
Yes.
beautiful words.
Yes. So there's this saying, right? In your lifetime of in your marriage, every you will go through like 6 versions of your partner. Sometimes we become so jaded, and then we don't realize people do change, and we just don't see them.
And a lot of people, like when they're on the verge of, say, getting divorced or breaking up, they're always like, "Yeah, it's not the same person I met because of that."
People do
You know,
change.
people
Yes.
do change. Yeah. So evolve together. All right, we're going back on air for the last time and chat a little bit more.
Okay.
It's Behind Closed Doors with Dr. Martha Tara Lee, our sexologist here on The Big Show. And we're talking about, well, actually at the end of this conversation, are we overparenting and under-partnering?
All right, and I think, the one thing we've kind of gotten clear, through this conversation today is, especially if you're becoming a parent, right? It is always better to maintain your relationship with your partner, even when you are going through your parenting with your kids, rather than put it on hold and then try to reignite the passion again once your kids have grown up. Okay?
So constant maintenance, right?
Absolutely.
Correct. It's
But-
so hard to maintain the fire when the fire has gone out.
Yeah, exactly, right? But supposing someone too late, only hearing this today and like, Alamak, I wish I had done that. Now, finally, after 18 years, my kids have gone off to university, national service. I got time to be with my wife again. How do I reignite that passion? Because, like we were talking on the Big Show TV, after 18 years, she could be a completely different woman.
Correct. And you could be completely different as well.
And
So
things may not work as well as they used to.
So taking that time to rediscover yourself.
And rediscover each other, right? Because earlier on the Big Show TV, you're saying the person you marry at 22 is not the same person at 30, at 40, at 50, because life changes you. You go through different stages. You have children, you lose parents, you maybe even lose siblings, best friends, whatever it is. So little things like that, your jobs and all that mold you and change you, your environment, right?
Correct.
How many versions did you say we marry?
6 different versions.
6 different
Yeah.
versions of the same person. Imagine that.
So in 18 years, you could miss out on 3 full versions.
yeah.
Don't assume that they are the same person. Don't forget to not take things for granted. So just now we mentioned the importance of courtesy as well. And then there's hormonal changes. So it's not just what you go through, but your body actually makes you change as well.
And as you experience those 6 different versions of your partner, remember that you also are going through 6 different versions of yourself.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So she
yeah.
may have her hormones. Guys, you got your hormones too. You know, maybe testosterone not kicking in as much as before.
Andropause
Yeah,
as well.
male pattern baldness.
Yeah.
Good thing is, 2 of you, completely different people. You can start dating each other all over again.
Rediscovering each
Yeah.
other. I love that. Okay, any closing words, Dr. Lee?
Yes, so it's really important when we talk about a strong family. It's important to know that we need healthy adults, and that involves healthy partnerships, healthy boundaries, supporting each other and not competing with each other. So some of the things we mentioned just now, compartmentalizing, carving out a little bit of me time, being able to ask for support, being able to get support. So it's not just asking but also receiving, just taking little efforts, like for instance staycation, to make sure that you are in the headspace for intimacy.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Lee. And we will possibly see you again next week. We're going to sign off right now and come back and maybe update you on the World Cup scores.
Glenn, Angel, and Tim, The Big Show.